If you've ever said, "I'll start saving when I make more," this is your turning point. Saving doesn't start when you're rich. Saving is how you get breathing room on a small income and, eventually, rich. The good news is that you don't need a color-coded spreadsheet or a personality transplant to make 2026 the year you finally keep money. You need a week that runs on autopilot, a few tiny transfers that happen on dates instead of moods, and a set of habits designed for bad Wednesdays, not for imaginary perfect months. This is a practical, long-form guide to starting small, staying consistent, and stacking wins even if your paychecks feel thin right now. Begin by changing what saving means in your head. Saving with little money is not about white-knuckled deprivation, it's about buying time. Time to say no to a bad boss, time to wait for the right deal, time to handle a surprise without asking a credit card for permission. Money in a separate account is future you sending today you a message. I've got the next problem covered, go do your day. When you frame saving as purchasing calm, not as punishing fun, you stop arguing with it. Calm, it turns out, is addictive and much cheaper than chaos. The engine underneath this plan is choreography, not willpower. Route every bit of income, paychecks, tips, transfers from apps, into a quiet staging account with no card attached. From there, 4 automatic moves run your month whether you're motivated or exhausted. On payday, the first transfer pays your future, a small deposit into savings, and if you invest, a tiny automatic contribution to a boring index fund. In week 1, a bills-only account pays rent or mortgage, utilities, phone, insurance, and minimum debt payments, so late disappears and fees stop eating groceries. The day after payday, small drips leave staging for labeled sinking funds that catch predictable irregulars, tires and service, copays, gifts, school, travel, and the winter energy spike. Every Friday, a weekly spending card refills to cover groceries and ordinary life, so drift can't last more than 6 days. That's the whole structure. You're not trying to be good. You're letting the calendar do what your mood can't. Because you're starting with little money, your first target isn't 6 months of expenses. It's 1 week of essentials as fast as possible. I call it a sleep fund because that's what it buys. Figure out what 7 days of your life actually cost: housing, basic food, lights and heat, transport, and minimum payments. Park that target in a separate savings account you won't poke, preferably at a bank that isn't your daily spending bank. When that first week exists, your nervous system relaxes. A surprise becomes an errand, not a crisis. From 1 week, climb to 1 month. From 1 month, grow toward 3 to 6 months as your responsibilities grow or your income gets spikier. Align your insurance deductibles to the size of this fund so you're never forced to go back to the card for emergencies. Saving is mostly about preparing for predictable pain. Now let's scale your saving rate without it feeling like a second job. The best first move is a tiny automatic transfer on payday. $5, €10, whatever number you will not cancel when you're tired. Small works because it survives. Every month, bump that transfer by a few percent. You won't feel the increments, but the year will. If you get a raise or a new freelance client, route the entire increase through a 90-day quiet period. During that window, your lifestyle stays the same while the delta fattens your sleep fund, refills dry sinking funds, and makes a bigger automatic transfer to savings. After 90 days, if your weekly spending number truly needs a bump, raise it slightly and continue. If it doesn't, congratulations, you just turned a raise into permanent savings instead of temporary upgrades. Weekly spending gets 1 number, not 100 categories. Categories are quicksand when money is tight. Pick a flat weekly amount that covers groceries and ordinary life and reload your weekly card, prepaid or debit, on the same morning every week. When it's gone, the week is over. If it's not gone, you can roll it forward or sweep the leftover to savings. 1 messy day can't wreck a month anymore. At worst, it steals a few days the next refill repairs. This single number method removes debates and delivers the only feature a shaky budget needs: predictability. Debt won't ruin this plan so long as you make it obey the calendar. Shame doesn't pay balances, schedules do. Put every minimum payment on autopay in week 1 from the bills account so fees die forever and your credit report stops getting bruised. Choose 1 target balance and send a survivable extra every payday until it's gone. If math motivates you, attack the highest APR, Avalanche. If momentum keeps you engaged, kill the smallest balance first, snowball, and roll the freed payment forward. If money is truly tight while you sprint to your first week of savings, pause the extra for 2 cycles. Resume once the cushion exists. The goal isn't to be debt-free tomorrow. It's to stop using the card as a fake emergency fund while your real one grows. Food and transport are where small budgets quietly bleed. Design your kitchen and commute for bad Wednesdays, not imaginary Sundays. Pick 2 10-minute dinners you actually like and stock their ingredients. Put a whiteboard on your freezer so your eyes remember what you own before your thumbs open a delivery app. Batch cook 1 hour on Sundays. Beans, roasted potatoes, soup, hard-boiled eggs, chopped vegetables. For transport, keep a friction kit, water, a snack, a charger, a small towel, a bandage, a spare 20. Batch errands into 1 loop each week. These boring props save more cash than most coupons because they keep you from buying relief at surge pricing. Attention is a budget and might be your scarcest one. Move your phone charger out of the bedroom. Give your first minutes to water, sunlight at a window, and a 2-minute check that your transfers ran. Unsubscribe from advertising emails you never asked for. Move shopping apps 2 screens deep. Install a cooling off queue for once, 24 hours for small items, 30 days for toys, and write each desire with today's date. Half will evaporate, the rest will improve. A used version, a better tool, or the realization that you were buying a feeling. That feeling passes, your savings stays. If your income is variable, overtime, shifts, contracts, tips, build a payroll for yourself. All revenue lands in staging. You skim a slice for taxes, if applicable, a small slice for savings, and then you pay your household the same safe Friday number every week from a buffer. The buffer is not extra money, it's stability. It turns feast and famine into rhythm. Rhythm is how budgets survive when life is chaotic. People get stuck on where to park savings. Keep the sleep fund in a simple savings account, ideally at a separate bank so it's a little inconvenient to raid. If your bank offers sub-accounts or buckets, label them clearly. Sleep fund, moving fund, travel, December tickets, so your brain associates money with purpose. Interest rates change over time, don't chase them weekly. Do a quarterly rebuy ritual. Read each recurring charge out loud, cancel what you wouldn't buy again, and check whether your savings account pays a fair rate. If another reputable bank beats it by a mile, move. Otherwise, keep the plan. The point of saving is staying power, not acrobatics. The simplest way to supercharge small savings is to combine 3 techniques that play well together. First, paycheck automation, so your future is paid before your mood wakes up. Second, a monthly top-up sweep from checking to savings to hit your target saving rate, based on what actually happened. Some months it's small, some it's big. Third, a found money rule. Any refund, rebate, or windfall under a certain size goes straight to the sleep fund. You won't miss windfalls you never saw. You will love the feeling of the fund crossing milestones faster than your day job suggests. Because this is 2026, let's talk about subscriptions, the leak that calls itself convenience. You don't have to purge all joy. You do have to go line by line. Log in, visit the billing page, and ask out loud, would I buy this again today at this price? If the answer isn't clean, pause or cancel. Many services offer seasonal or annual pricing. Commit only if you already used it weekly for a month. Redirect every saved dollar to your sleep fund for the first quarter. People think saving is mostly saying no. In practice, saving is mostly renegotiating what you already pay and letting automation keep the difference. Your first month on this plan will be messy. Good. You're testing the floor of your real life, not the ceiling of a fantasy. Expect a transfer to fail, a week to overshoot, a whiteboard to go blank. The rule that rescues everything is never miss twice. If a transfer fails, it runs next payday. If the weekly card overshoots, next week trims. If the sleep fund takes a hit, it refills before anything else. Recovery beats perfection because perfection isn't available to humans. Rhythm is.
Let's stitch this into a single week so you can feel how saving with little money actually looks. Monday morning takes 5 minutes. You confirm that the payday transfers ran, peek at the next 2 weeks for irregulars, and check your bills account balance. Monday night is stress-free. Tuesday evening, you cook one of your 10-minute dinners and jot a grocery list based on your freezer whiteboard. Wednesday, you handle one maintenance chore, a filter, tire pressure, a squeak, so cheap problems stay cheap. Thursday night, if you have it in you, you spend 20 undistracted minutes on income hygiene, a small improvement at work you can add to your receipts outcomes note, or a tiny skill sprint that will make next year's pay a bit higher. Friday morning, your weekly card refills. Friday evening is a small joy on purpose funded by the plan. Saturday hosts the Power Hour. Reconcile accounts, run the top-up sweep if the month is closing, cancel one subscription, move one recurring due date closer to payday if it keeps catching you off guard. Sunday hosts the batch cook and a tiny reset for your space. There's no heroism here, just boredom that saves money. Let's step into a few real rooms where this works. A 22-year-old student has €40 between paychecks. She routes campus job income to staging, sets a €5 payday transfer to savings, and drafts her phone bill and minimum card payment in week 1 from a bills account. She refills a €35 weekly card every Friday, writes 2 10-minute dinners on her freezer whiteboard, and unsubscribes from 4 brands. She drips €3 each into 2 sinking funds labeled travel and December tickets. In 6 weeks, she quietly hits a 1-week sleep fund. In 3 months, she hits a month. Nothing dramatic happened. Fridays just got predictable. A 31-year-old parent with a toddler is tired and convinced saving is impossible. He renames 2 accounts, Staging Rails and Sleep Fund. He moves car insurance and internet to week 1 drafts and aligns due dates so nothing lands randomly anymore. He builds a trunk kit so daycare pickups stop turning into convenience store runs. He keeps a receipts outcomes note at work, errors prevented, dollar saved, and trades it for a small raise 9 months later. He runs a 90-day quiet period where the raise fattens the sleep fund and sinking funds before lifestyle hears the news. His weekly number stays the same, his stress drops anyway. He still has long days. He doesn't have money emergencies masquerading as bad luck. A 41-year-old contractor with variable income pays herself the same safe Friday number from a buffer. All invoices land in staging. She skims 25% for taxes, 5% for savings, refills the bills account for the next cycle, drips into tires and service and tools, and then transfers her household pay. She uses a cooling-off queue for wants and buys used gear from pros retiring. Within 1 quarter, the feast and famine vibration at home disappears. Her savings stops being what's left and becomes a line item that happens while she's tired. Where should you aim as the year unfolds? The first milestone is a 1-week sleep fund. The second is 1 month. The third is a stable savings rate, even if it's only 10% of take-home at first. The fourth is cash flowing irregulars from sinking funds instead of cards. The fifth is adding tiny investments on payroll dates so ownership grows while you live your life. The sixth is rational debt, minimums on autopay, 1 target balance under attack, and smart pauses to protect your sleep fund. You don't need perfection to accumulate calm, you need boredom stacked for quarters. Let's talk about what derails people so you can steer around it. The first derailment is the "I deserve it" purchase that becomes a permanent monthly payment. Payments are promises you must keep on bad Tuesdays. Prefer one-time upgrades you can revisit over subscriptions and financing that never ends. The second is the sale that invents a need. Sales are only saving if you were going to buy it anyway and the discount is real. The third is trying to out-optimize everything. The best savings account is the one you actually use. The best budget is the one you can run while exhausted. The best transfer amount is the one you won't cancel when the month gets loud. Keep your system simple enough to survive you. Because this is a savings guide, not an investing lecture, I'll only give you one investing rule right now. Invest on dates, not moods. If you're not investing yet, that's fine. Focus on your sleep fund and your automation. When you do start, choose a low-cost diversified option you can explain in a sentence, automate it on payday, and write a 1-page policy for what you'll do when screens turn red. Keep contributing, rebalance once on your birthday, go for a walk. Compounding rewards the boring. Savings is how you stay long enough to be rewarded. If you share finances with someone, replace telepathy with a 10-minute weekly check-in. 4 questions. Did the transfers run? Is the bills account funded? Is the weekly card on track? And are any irregulars arriving in the next 2 weeks? Add one small joy that you'll fund on purpose. Joy matters. Plans that ignore joy invite rebellion you'll pay for anyway. Keep a threshold for big purchases that requires a conversation, and keep small no-questions allowances so adults can have toys without court. Calm homes save more because no one is buying apologies at checkout screens. There will be a season, maybe right now, when you feel like your savings are invisible. That's okay. Savings is a lagging measure. You don't see it the day you batch cook, you see it over months when delivery receipts stop appearing. You don't see it the day you cancel a subscription, you see it when your sleep fund hits 1 month without breaking a sweat. You don't see it the night you move your charger out of the bedroom, you see it when you don't buy the thing you wanted yesterday. Delay your dashboard, trust your dates. A word about bank features that can help without becoming gimmicks. Automatic transfers are non-negotiable. Sub-accounts or buckets make purpose visible. Roundups are fine as seasoning, not as the meal. Transfer scheduling on specific calendar dates beats every 30 days because months aren't the same length. Alerts are helpful when they tell you something actionable. Bills account below X, weekly card refilled, deposit received. Hide graphs that make you feel behind. Show checklists that make you feel competent. Let's talk of a humbler, underappreciated savings booster, proximity. Living closer to the life you actually live, work, school, parks, a grocery you like, shrinks transport costs and gives you back hours that would have been spent commuting and buying convenience. If relocation is realistic in 2026, choose a map that reduces ride shares and increases walking. If it isn't, redraw your loops. Adopt a 5-mile rule for essentials, batch errands, and keep the trunk kit. Time saved is money saved because tired you is the most expensive version of you. You might wonder how long this takes to feel real. A week to set up the rails, 2 to 4 weeks to hit the first sleep fund milestone if you get aggressive and sell a few things, 1 quarter to feel the rhythm and trust the weekly number, a year to look up and realize you haven't paid a late fee in months, your grocery line is calmer, your card balances are rotating in the right direction, and your savings has a shape. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Before we finish, here is the smallest ceremony to start tonight. Rename 2 accounts, Staging Rails and Sleep Fund. Schedule 4 transfers, payday savings into the Sleep Fund, week 1 drafts for housing, utilities, insurance, and minimum payments from a bills-only account, day after payday drips into your labeled sinking funds, and the Friday morning refill for your weekly card. Move your phone charger out of the bedroom. Put a whiteboard on your freezer and write 2 10-minute dinners you'll actually make this week. Build a friction kit for your bag or trunk. Water, snack, charger, small towel, bandage, a spare 20. Open a note labeled Receipts Outcomes and write 1 useful thing you did at work today with a number attached. Run a 15-minute rebuy ritual and cancel 1 charge you wouldn't buy again. Then let Friday arrive and notice the quiet signal that your saving system is working. Nothing. The card refills, the bills draft, the sink strip. Your sleepy little transfer leaves on time. You feel almost nothing because the plan already knows what to do. In a few months, I'll start saving when I have more will sound like a story someone else told you. Your week will cost less to run, your inbox will sell you fewer feelings, your kitchen will beat delivery on tired nights, your commute will shrink or at least make more sense, your sleep fund will cross numbers you didn't think you could reach. And on a random Tuesday, your boss, a client, or a landlord will do something that would have left you stuck last year, and you'll realize you have options. That's what saving with little money buys. Not just a balance on a screen, but a life with more exits. Start small, start now. Let 2026 be the year your money begins keeping its promises.